Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Tuesday, the 31st of March. With Robert Murray McShane, we begin reading Paul's letter to the Colossians today. And in the first chapter in verse 15 on, Paul says, "The Son is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. For in him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or powers or rulers or authorities. All things have been created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together." And as I read that and was reflecting on it, I thought, little wonder that so much of society seems to be falling apart, and so many people have the experience of that life's coming unstuck and it's not going well, because in him things hold together. And it also just struck me that we are created for Christ. So if we're not living for Christ, if that's not our intention, if we're not aligned with Christ in that way, we're not going to flourish. And that's why we see so many people struggling with issues of belonging and depression and identity and all sorts of issues that are plaguing society today, because we're trying to live in a way that we weren't created for. And it's not going to go well. By way of an illustration, as I was thinking about it, I've got an old Land Rover Defender which we use for going camping, wonderful holiday vehicle. Now I can take that car and I can drive it around the Kyle Army racetrack, and it'll get around the Kyle Army racetrack. It'll be okay. So certainly won't do it very quickly, but it'll do it. But if I take that car through some of the tracks through the mountains of Lesotho, or one of the rough roads in Namibia or Botswana, through the bush, away from it all, that's where it comes into its own, and it's fantastic at that. It is superb. And I think so often when we're doing what we're designed for, things go so much better. When we're trying to do things which don't align with our purpose, it's going to be a struggle. And we were created through him and for him. And so as Christians, we're aligned with Christ. We say we're trying to live for Jesus. We're going to let Jesus shape our thinking, the way we do things. We're going to ask Jesus to direct our lives. And as we do that, we suddenly discover a fullness of life, because this is what we're created for. Move away from that, and it's going to be a struggle. So I pray that you would know that fullness of life, that sense of God's purpose in and through you, and be able to share that with other people where people are struggling and wrestling with issues, to be able to say, we're created for Christ. We have a purpose. Come to Christ. Look to him. And as you do that, and you align with what you're created for, life begins to fall into place, and things do seem to come together, and we find a purpose and a power in life which we don't have otherwise. So be encouraged by that thought, and know that as we walk with Christ, as we're doing what we're created for, we are richly blessed.